Hi, I'm Brian C. Smith, Berkshire Halfway Home Services, EWM Realty, coming to you from our 41st office today in Miami Beach. And I'm with Michael Butticavelli. How's it going, Michael?
Doing great.
So we just watched a developer presentation on Via Sofia. It's going to be in the South of Fifth neighborhood, and Michael and I wanted to share with you a little bit about the project. We are right now in the friends and family pricing of this project, so you probably won't see a lot out there on the project, and that's a good thing for you as a buyer. Michael, what do you think about the neighborhood?
It's south of Fifth. It's where a lot of people want to be with all the things that are there. You're seeing all the high-end restaurants either have opened or are starting to open there. You have Carbone, you have obviously Prime Wintel's been there for a long time, Joe's, Miami Beach staple, and it's kind of that zone where you have that walkability, but you also have that high-end experience as well.
Yes, you ever watched the TV show Billions?
Of course.
I get a kick out of it. These folks are up in New York and they're ordering from Joe's. That's like right there in the neighborhood.
There's plenty of great restaurants there that you don't even need a car to get to. And I think that's the draw for South of Fifth. It's the luxury living, it's the walkability, it's having the beach right there. And that's what makes this building really interesting and really appealing. It's a unique opportunity. You don't have buildings like this that are going to have these finishes and have no rental restrictions at the same time. It really provides a lot of flexibility for the buyer.
Yeah, and I mean, recently released in the neighborhood was 5 Park, which, 5 Park was pretty cool to have new construction come in a high-rise, really kind of the first thing really built in the last, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
In South of Fifth neighborhood, and they're going to put in the canopy bridge, connecting it with South of Fifth. Mm-hmm. This is actually in South of Fifth, which is pretty cool. So you got all the restaurants. Of course, you have the greatest amenity God ever made called the Beach, or South Beach as it's known. And you're really right there between 2nd and 3rd Street, that 250/260 Collins Avenue address, 1 block in from the beach.
I sold pretty much a unit that needed to be gut renovated, and it was in one of those smaller it was a 2-story building and didn't have laundry in the unit, didn't have a laundry room for the building. And you see the price points of other units in this area, and you start to look at the price points for this project and think of the finishes, the no rental restrictions, the location, and you realize this is interesting.
Especially,
and that's why it caught our eye.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're talking to you folks, because this is a very unique product. It's going to be 2 penthouses facing towards the ocean, towards the east, that are both roughly 12 to 1,300 square foot with about 900 square foot terraces for about 2.35. That price point is incredible. You would have a really hard time finding in other buildings down in the South of Fifth neighborhood a penthouse for just over $2 million. In other buildings, that would get you the 1 bedroom, 1 bath.
Yeah, and they won't have the flexibility that this building has. And
Mm-hmm.
You have these buildings that have all these massive gyms and several pools and an elevator that takes you up to the 30th floor, if not higher. And this is a completely different product. And it's for that person to really take advantage of that walkability of the area. It's nice to be able to get in and out of your unit quickly, not have to deal with the elevator. And if you're not there full time, again, we go back to the flexibility of being able to rent out the unit whenever you want, and you can rent it for a day, you can rent it for a week or a month. And that really adds to the upside of that price point that you were talking about.
Yeah, it's true ownership where you don't feel like the building owns you and you're paying like a huge price per square foot on your HOA.
And without all those things, we go back to that HOA. We're at $1.25 a square foot, where you mentioned 5 Park, you're at $2 a square foot plus, and it's beautiful and it has all these amazing amenities. But like you said, you're in South of Fifth. You have plenty of fitness opportunities, restaurant opportunities, to where you can pick and choose what you want to do with your money instead of having a lot of that money go towards the HOA with some amenities you may not particularly use yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you got South Point Park right down the street. You got the beach. You got volleyball. You got tennis.
Yeah, no, there's a reason that South of Fifth is so desirable, and by keeping that dollar per square foot low on your HOA, you're being able to explore and really take full advantage of what south of 5th or even just the rest of South Beach going a little north has to offer. Now we're really starting to see where this building is located, its proximity to the beach in the background, the ocean, and on top of this, these 3 levels of units, you have this rooftop, which is this where all the amenities of this building are located, and it's kind of the resident sanctuary. You have your pool there on the left, covered area to lounge, sit, and then those are connected with a walkway, and you have a gym area, outdoor gym on your right side, and another lounge area. And it's really unique in that not too over the top, not a huge space, but if you want to use the pool, you want to get a workout in, and you want to be steps from the ocean, it's pretty much checks all those boxes for you.
Yeah, I think if there's 2 amenities, and we could only pick 2 amenities, I think we'd want to have a pool.
Yep.
And I think we'd want to have a gym. And then you got the ocean right there. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah, and I think they've done a great job with realizing how much demand there is for this type of product.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. Even if you look at new construction in other areas all around Dade County, you just aren't going to get in at this price point. And to have the flexibility of being able to rent it out when you're not using it, as well as keeping that dollar per square foot down on the HOA because you don't have crazy amenities to have to upkeep and staff to have to pay for, it just makes it a lot easier and really interesting.
And there's a few other boutique buildings. You're right next to 300 Collins. You're not too far from the Louvre House. But all those other boutique-y buildings, you're not going to touch anything for $2 million. You're going to be looking at 3, 4, 5, 10 million for a unit. So if anybody's out there, you've ever wanted to live in South Beach, you've ever want to have a vacation place in South Beach, you've ever want to have a short-term rental in South Beach, give us a call today. Brian Smith, my number is 305-318-8200, and we'd love to help you out.